Hello, everybody. Welcome to my book review. Today, I'm going to be going through The Story of Philosophy by Will Durant. This book was originally published in 1926. It was my grandfather's philosophy textbook, which is pretty impressive because this definitely feels like something you would read at the college level. I can't imagine a teacher in high school assigning anything like this at all. But anyway, so about 2.5 years ago, he gifted it to me, and it's been sitting in storage. I haven't touched it until about a couple months ago. When I started reading Friedrich Nietzsche, an 18th century philosopher, I was reading his direct text, stuff that he wrote, and I quickly got frustrated because his ideas are very complex, very dense, but also very rich. I needed some sort of context, some more information, another author's opinion on his writings before I actually really started to understand what was going on in his writings. So this book served that purpose. Will Durant actually has a full chapter in here on Friedrich Nietzsche, and I've read it over probably, I think, 3 times now. And it's so rich that I probably am going to go through it a fourth time. So it actually starts with Plato, and then it moves chronologically through time, through the most influential philosophers in human history. Reading from the back here, the story of philosophy chronicles the ideas of the great thinkers, the economic and intellectual environments which influenced them, and the personal traits and adventures out of which each philosophy grew. That's a great description. I probably couldn't do better than that. It really gives you an idea of how these thinkers lived their life, the circumstances of their life that shaped their philosophy. It also goes into detail of what they did as a career, or at least what information we have of what they did as a career. And it kind of gives you more of a bigger picture on their lives, which can definitely help you understand the ideas that they're trying to get across. So one thing that I really like about this is it dedicates each chapter basically is dedicated to an individual philosopher, and each chapter ends with a criticism of that philosopher, which is good because you want to know their ideas and you want to get a sense of why their ideas make sense, why they're right, but you also want to know the other side of the story. You want to know what philosophers criticize against them, and eventually it just builds and builds and builds, and you start to get more of a bigger picture of how far we've come in the field of philosophy. So overall, this is one of those books that you can go through multiple times and read. And those are the kinds of books that I really appreciate, that I think you guys would like. If you want to get into philosophy, if you're, if maybe you've always wanted to learn about Plato or Aristotle or Nietzsche, which I highly recommend, don't start off with reading a direct text from them. I mean, you can go ahead. But if you're going to do that, it's good to have some sort of preface and base knowledge about them before you go into it. Or maybe not. I don't know. It worked for me, like actually understanding their lives and who influenced them and who they later influenced, because it's all part of the same picture. Each philosopher helped shape the ideas of the philosophers that came after them. So just take in as much information as you can about everyone. It's good to have your favorites, but it's also very important in understanding your favorites that you take into account how other people influence them. It's really important, and it just makes reading about these philosophers a lot better. It's not as dry. It's easier to turn the pages, basically. It doesn't feel like a textbook. It feels like a story, hence the name, The Story of Philosophy. So that is my review. I really recommend this book if you are interested in it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you.